You may be ready to retire, but because of your wants, you can't retire yet.
And welcome into Financial Focus, brought to you by the best of the best in financial services, 10 straight years and running, as named by the readers of the Lake City Reporter. More than 31 years serving North Central Florida proactive savers and investors in formulating that financially focused written plan to achieve your financial and retirement goals. Of course, the team from GulfCoast Financial Services and founder and CEO John Kuykendall here with us, as always, providing the insight, keeping us financially focused. John, it's back to school season, and in the spirit, we thought we would talk and review a syllabus, if you will, like the teachers do on the first day of school. They review the syllabus, they talk about what the class is going to be about, hit the main points that we may not have heard of, and especially talk about what it is going to take to pass that final exam. We've got the syllabus for retirement here. It is the 12-point bullet point list of the Are You Ready to Retire?
Well, that's right, Peter, and I'm looking forward to talking about this. You know, every podcast we talk about retirement and the financially focused income plan. And I think this just kind of sums it up, that when we get through with this podcast, you'll understand the reason that you need that income plan.
Absolutely.
And you know, the first one on here is talking about, do you know how long your money's going to last in retirement? And I think the hardest thing, I talked to a client just this morning, how am I going to get paid? How long is my money going to last me? And so when we went through his plan, I showed him, and he was able to see that based upon drawing out different amounts, the plan either worked or it didn't work. And it's kind of like qualifying for a home. I have a certain amount of income, but I need to get pre-qualified in order to purchase that home because I don't know how much home I can buy. And in retirement, we don't know how good a retirement we can have or how bad it's going to be, Peter, if we don't have an income plan.
You got to have that in place. And of course, the proprietary planning that they do there at GulfCoast Financial Services, they've named the process and the document, the written plan that you get put together, the financially focused written retirement income plan, identifying those goals and then keeping you on track and focused on what needs to be done to achieve them so that you can answer and address all of the questions, all of the issues that are on this Are You Ready to Retire syllabus. But the number one there, do you know how long the income is going to last once you retire? If your paycheck stops today, which we intend it to do when we retire, it's just the day after we still need an income. So let's make sure that we plan and prepare for that. Number two on the list, John, have you identified and calculated the retirement income gap? So this is the part where we get into the math to help us determine number one, right?
Well, that's right, Peter. And what we have to do is we have to figure out what our needs are, and then we have to figure out how long our money's going to last based upon those needs. And then we add in the wants. So, you know, if we're going to do $7,000 a year in traveling, we're going to take a trip to Europe, I'm going to have to put a new roof on the house in 5 years. We add that into the plan so we know how much money I'm going to have and how long my money's going to last based upon what I need. And we can't do that, Peter. We don't know whether we're spending too much or spending too little unless we know what our gap is.
Yep. And then number three, John, hopefully we've got a little bit extra. So do you know how much you have available in discretionary assets over and above what will be needed to cover the needs and the wants, right? We lay the foundation through the planning process. And over time, grounds shift and foundations can crack. We've got to have some extra discretionary money over on the side to fill in those cracks over time.
Well, yeah, don't forget, we're going to have inflation. We don't know what inflation is going to be. We're going to have legislative changes. We don't know what the government's coming up with as far as new taxes, new laws that are going to affect us. And we've seen that in the past. Secure Act 2.0. We've seen some things that have changed that have affected our retirement and how we're going to be able to pass that retirement on. And so we need to be able to have a discretionary fund, another bucket, if you will, a growth bucket, so that we can use it to fund those extra things that we don't think about right now.
Again, all of this is done through the financially focused income planning process, retirement planning process. If you would like this list, by the way, of the Are You Ready to Retire, or if you would like to get your plan reviewed, evaluated, or constructed, put it together, form that foundation, pick up the phone, give John Kuykendall and the team there at GulfCoast Financial Services a call, 386-755-9018, 386-755-9018. Number 4 on the list, John. This is about diversification, but not just for diversification's sake. This is because our money needs to do a few different things for us. We need growth. We need safety. We need liquidity. We need income. No $1 can do all of those things simultaneously. So that is where number 4, do you know if your portfolio is properly diversified to provide enough of each of those?
Well, that's right, Peter. And that's why we look at different ways that we can allocate the money so that we cover all those items. And then also, I like to think that we've got different buckets so that we've got a liquidity bucket for short-term needs. We've got a growth bucket for long-term, for the growth in our portfolio. And we've got a safe income bucket that we're getting our monthly income out of. The income that we have in retirement, we're paying ourselves. And so that money's got to last us our entire retirement. The one thing you don't want to do is still be in good health and realize you don't have any money.
Everybody talks about how much of a dream it is to be your own boss. And then it's kind of scary once it happens in retirement, right, John?
Well, yeah, I mean, you're paying yourself. And so you have all the freedom to do all the things that you always wanted to do. And you can do them properly, or you can do them so that you run out of money. And you don't want to run out of money, Peter, because let me tell you something, your kids don't want you coming to live with them.
Yeah. Yep. Well, I think it's because of that fear of running out of money, John, that we don't do all the things that we want to do in retirement. We are apprehensive because of that fear, as been shown in survey after survey of retirees, the number one fear. But that's why it is so essential that you cover all 12 items on this list. The Are You Ready to Retire, the retirement course syllabus, if you will, in the spirit of back to school season here. If you would like this list, one-page report to go over on your own time, or even more valuable, ladies and gentlemen, if you would like to sit down with a team of qualified professionals, John and the team from GulfCoast Financial Services, pick up the phone, give a call, 386-755-9018, 386-755-9018. Number 5 on the list, John, do you hold at least annual reviews of your plan to assess if you have met previous goals and benchmarks and to set new ones for the year ahead?
Well, that's right, Peter. What we want to do, and we encourage people to come in and redo those plans every year, because it's a living, breathing document, and things are going to happen. Things are going to change. We may spend more money than we thought. We may spend less money than we thought. We may have a death in the family. We got to worry about that. We've got to worry about changes in income, changes in status, health. Those things are all part of it. And so we want to put all of that into that plan. And also, like I said, people may decide they want to take a river cruise. Come in, let's put it in the plan, see how it affects us and how we're going to pay for it. But the one thing we're going to do, Peter, that's a little bit different is if we're taking out a lump sum, we're going to run you through our tax planner so we can see how it's going to affect your income taxes for that year.
Halfway through our list, John, and you don't want to be halfway through retirement when you have questions pop up about this next topic, Social Security. We've got so many questions about it, so many different potential combinations and strategies, and you really need to think this through and be educated on before you make what are permanent lifetime Social Security decisions. We don't want surprises popping up in later years of retirement.
No, and what we're going to do is do a Social Security plan for you and show you where we maximize Social Security. And then we're going to talk to you about what we're doing. It may be that we don't want to wait till 70 to take retirement, take Social Security. It may be that it works best to take it at 67, 68. We'll tell you what those numbers are, discuss it with you, and give you a plan. Over and over again, we've said Social Security is not there to coach you on when to take Social Security. They're there to take your order. You tell them what you want, they'll put it in the computer. So we need to understand Social Security and how it affects us and how it affects our income plan. And don't forget that up to 85% of your Social Security is subject to taxes based upon your income level.
Yeah, who knows if that might be bumped up into the future. Again, we all have some questions about Social Security,
Oh, yeah.
as we do about medical expenses. And the next item on the list deals with those, John. Is there a perfect solution to this? I don't think so, but you must document your plan, and then you must formulate a strategy for how to deal with those potential costs. Don't just
Well,
ignore them, right?
yeah, certainly, Peter, we can't ignore it because, long-term care or care is something that is really going to cost us and it could jeopardize our retirement. I was talking to a customer this morning, and one of her employees has got the exchange insurance. She's not on Medicare yet, but she's got cancer, and her copay, which she has to put up first before she can get treatment, is $8,000. So how are we going to pay for our medical expenses prior to Medicare age and after Medicare age? And how are we going to handle long-term care situations or short-term situations? And that's one of the things we do by diversifying assets, coming up with a plan. We can't get insurance anymore to cover that. So we have to come up with other ways, Peter.
All right, a couple more bullet points on this class syllabus for retirement. The Are You Ready to Retire report, ladies and gentlemen, talk about calculating the income that would be lost into the retirement years if you or your spouse pass away. Certainly important, as well as when you're both here and healthy and want to spend money. How much do you want to spend? Calculating how much your portfolio will need to generate for you to cover that retirement income. And of course, John, we can't forget about factoring in Uncle Sam and the IRS. How much will you be paying in taxes over your retirement when you're making those retirement account withdrawals? How much do you get to keep?
Well, that's it, Peter. And we're facing some really stiff changes in taxes and tax laws because our tax laws sunset December of 25. We get all new tax laws. We're going to get them sooner. President Biden has already put into place a wish list of tax changes that he wants. And if he can get those passed this year, they're going to be retroactive back to January 24. Higher corporate taxes, such things as not passing on the appreciated value to the next generation. There are some things that are really going to affect us that we need to put into the plan and we need to be ready for. And we have to understand, I'm going to pay just as much or more in retirement and taxes that I did when I was working. The difference is when I was working, they were coming out of my paycheck, and I really didn't miss them because that paycheck was coming every week based on my work. Now my paycheck comes out of my assets based upon what I've saved, and I have to understand I'm going to be paying all of those taxes now.
Yeah. John, those reasons that you mentioned, those potential legislative tax law changes, it is for those reasons, as well as so many others, that we need to have a plan and we need to continue to review and update the plan as time goes on, and bringing us home here, the way that you pass the final exam, having that plan in place. So number 12, do you have that financially focused written retirement income plan in writing?
Well, that's right, Peter. And a lot of people don't. They don't understand. They go into retirement thinking they are ready for retirement. They've saved enough money. They've got different things coming in. But without that financially focused income plan, you're not going to be able to guarantee that I know how much you're not going to be able to look at and know how much I'm going to get and how much I'm going to spend and how it's going to affect me tax-wise, Social Security-wise, Medicare-wise. There are all kinds of self-taxes. There's taxes out there that we don't think about until we're in retirement. And then we realize that I can get penalized based upon how much I make in a lot of different areas. And so we want to make sure all of the people understand those. And when we go through that plan with you, we will tell you about all those and put them down in black and white so you'll be able to understand them.
And John, those initial consultations, people may be hesitant because they're unsure about the cost of that. sitting down and having a discussion with you and your team members there to talk about those goals, to outline them, to put that written plan together. There is no cost for that part. If there is future conversations, y'all will discuss what the merits of that are, the benefits, the costs that are associated. That is part of your planning process, that you can have those conversations and get that plan in writing up front, correct?
Well, that's correct, Peter. We're a registered investment advisor, licensed by the state of Florida. Therefore, we are a fiduciary. So I have to put clients, prospects' interest first. And we will disclose fully, transparently, everything we're going to get, everything we charge. And there is no charge for the initial consultation or for the financially focused income plan. I feel like that everybody needs this financially focused income plan because it's in English. You can understand it. We're not going to give you a book with 1,000 pages and graphs and charts. We're going to give you a presentation on a whiteboard, and then we're going to give you a disk of a flash drive showing you that plan so that we can make changes to it every year.
Well, again, ladies and gentlemen, there's no reason to procrastinate or put off planning. The plan works best if you start now. This is the earliest you're going to be able to start. You could have started 30 years ago. A lot of people wish they had, but you'll never be younger than you are today. So let's go ahead and get that in place now. That way you have a plan moving forward. John, we appreciate you previewing the course here that we will have to travel and navigate over retirement. We want to pass that final exam with flying colors. That's why we need to address each and every one of the items on this list, the retirement class syllabus, to bring home our analogy with the start of school season here. We want to go back to school and have that plan in place for retirement. That is why you need the Are You Ready to Retire report, ladies and gentlemen, and you need the plan. Most importantly.
That's right, Peter. And what we want to do is we want to take you to the study hall, and we're going to let you help study so that we know that we have studied and put together a plan that works in your retirement. And so, this is going to be fun. It's exciting, but at the same time, it is a great exercise for everyone because you may think you can't retire, but based upon your wants and your needs, we can show you whether you can or not. You may be ready to retire, but because of your wants, you can't retire yet. And we'll tell you that. But, we need to understand that during retirement, I may not be able to go back to work due to health reasons. So I need to make sure that I've got that financially focused income plan in place.
I love
so come to our study hall.
Yeah, I love the study hall. I love the study hall analogy. I used to love study hall because it allowed me to get all my homework done so that when I got home, I could just enjoy myself, right? And that's the point of retirement. We want to go home. We want to enjoy ourselves knowing that we've got all of the homework done ahead of time. We've got the plan in place. So pick up the phone, give a call. GulfCoast Financial Services, your resource, North Central Florida and beyond. Many, many proactive planners, savers, and investors have taken advantage, but so many more need to. So give them a call now, 386-755-9018, 386-755-9018. Or as always, you can visit online 24 hours a day, GulfCoastFinancial.net, GulfCoastFinancial.net. And John, I hear more of the original financially focused book are on their way, on back order at your office, but arriving soon.
Yeah, that's right, Peter. The original book, Financial Focus, is out, but we're getting new copies. We have a few copies left. We're going to order some more of our Quitting is for Winners, our Retirement's for Winners. What is it? Quitting for Winners, Retirement's Not for Wimps. Yeah, that's it. And so we want that book. We're very excited about both books. They help you go through all the stuff that we've talked about and help you understand better. But Peter, retirement isn't for wimps. There are a lot of changes coming down the road that we have to be ready for. There are a lot of things that are going to affect us as retirees, and we need to be ready. Social Security, Medicare, all running out of money in 2033 as far as enough to fund 100%. We've got problems as retirees that we didn't have as regular employees, and we have to be ready for them.
Give John Kuykendall and the team from GulfCoast Financial Services a call, 386-755-9018, 386-755-9018. John, as always, we appreciate the time, the information, and for keeping us financially focused.
Well, Peter, I'll see you in study hall.
Be sure to like, subscribe, share, and tune in for more financial focus by visiting GulfCoastFinancial.net. The information presented on this program is provided for informational purposes only, without warranty of accuracy, completeness, or suitability for a particular purpose. This program is not intended to be and does not constitute financial, investment, legal, or tax advice. This information is general in nature and not specific enough to be construed as advice. You should not make any decision based on the information presented on this program without independent consultation with an appropriately licensed professional or competent advisor. Investment in securities or the market involves a potential risk for loss of principal. Trading, therefore, may not be suitable for all listeners. Annuity guarantees are based solely on the financial strength and claims-paying ability of the issuing company. Withdrawals of growth from annuities may be taxable as ordinary income in the year it is taken. Individuals should review contracts for specific details of the product's features and costs. Early withdrawals may subject the owner to penalties, fees, or taxes. John Kuykendall is registered with and securities are offered through Kovac Securities, Inc., member FINRA SIPC, found online at www.kovacsecurities.com. Advisory services are offered through GulfCoast Financial Services, Inc., a registered investment advisor in Florida. GulfCoast Financial Services, Inc. is not affiliated with Kovac Securities, Inc. or Kovac Advisors, Inc. Past performance is not indicative of future results. All investing involves risk. Investment decisions should be based on your own goals, time horizon, and tolerance for risk. Due to various factors, including changing market conditions and/or applicable laws, the content may no longer be reflective of current opinions or positions.